What's up, Home Slices? It's Kira with Home Slice Adulting coming to you with my review for Season 1, Episode 4 of The Equalizer, which is titled... Hold on, let me check the title. It Takes a Village. Thanks so much for clicking on this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. And this is just going to be quick. I didn't take notes or anything, but I just finished watching it. And while it was fresh on my mind, I wanted to do a review. So the gist of this particular episode is that a community leader in a community in New York that is in the middle of being gentrified or attempting to be gentrified. It's a community of mostly Black people, and there's a young man there that's a community leader who is named Malcolm King. You know, his mother purposely named him after two civil rights leaders. And he's active in the community, fighting against gang violence, fighting against developers that are trying to move in. I feel like there was another group of people that he was, you know, dealing with, but he's a community leader and he's trying to organize to make sure that they aren't pushed out of their neighborhood or terrorized by gangs or whatever. So, he ends up being killed and writes a suicide note, and the police rule it as a suicide. But he ends up falling out of his window and landing on his back, which is suspicious. And they call Queen Latifah. They call the Equalizer because the police it doesn't make sense. He wouldn't commit suicide, all of that stuff. So, anyways, Queen Latifah is on the hunt. She goes after people. She finds a rat. She confronts the gangs, and here is where things get super corny for me. Okay, I'm a person who I'm cool with corny. Okay, some people would consider me to be corny. Some people would consider my fiance to be corny, or people in my family to be corny, and corniness is all right with me. Okay, for the most part, but it's cheesy. Like corny and cheesy. There was a part in the show where Queen Latifah confronts the gang, and this gang has maybe 15 people surrounding her with guns. Queen Latifah goes like this and basically points finger guns, then uses weapon terminology to describe her finger guns. And I was like, this is so corny. Where is this going? And then she shoots her finger gun and a bullet actually goes through something. And immediately I figure out what's going on. But the gang is freaked out and they put their guns down. And that was just the corniest, cheesiest part of this show. And then I'm starting to realize that Queen Latifah's voice in this show is weird to me, and I don't mean like the quality of her voice per se. There's like this thing that she's doing with her voice that kind of quiets her voice down a little bit, and I don't like it. I don't know how to describe it, but knowing Queen Latifah from other things, like if you think about her character in Bringing Down the House and how she was loud and boisterous, and then thinking about how she is in The Equalizer and how she's trying to have this calm, stillness to her voice, like Denzel Washington maybe, when he played The Equalizer. And I just don't think it works for her personally. But there was also this really interesting dynamic where they are trying to turn the two people that are helping her, the tech guy and his wife, turning them into kind of like the comic relief of the show. And I'm not sure how convinced I am about that part. There was one part where Queen Latifah manages to get the gang leader and many of the gang members arrested, and the husband and wife that are helping Queen Latifah are watching through a body cam, watching them arrest the guys, and they start singing bad boys, what you gonna do?" And it is funny, but it was also weird. It was it was weird. So for whatever reason, the guy, the actual tech guy, being being some comic relief is kind of legitimate, because he actually is basically a hermit, because it's believed that he died, and to protect himself he needs to keep it looking that way. So him having a sense of humor is his way of getting through not being able to leave his house, basically. But the husband and wife together doesn't make sense. You know, them being funny together doesn't make sense to me. But anyways, that's a little nitpicky. But anyways, the sexual tension between Queen Latifah and old boy. Queen Latifah and Officer Dante. She catches Officer Dante on purpose in the shower. He's naked, we presume. I mean, he was showering. And this was her way of getting him in a compromised position in order to help her, you know, take down the people who are involved. So, of course, we have the hired hand who actually killed Malcolm, right? Physically killed him. And then we have the person who hired the hit on Malcolm, who they believe is a developer who is trying to move into the neighborhood. And Malcolm was just in the way, and he was stopping the progress of them moving into and gentrifying this part of the city. So some interesting stuff happened. So first off, I don't remember where Queen Latifah was. Well, okay, no, let's go back. Queen Latifah gets together with the guy who trained her in the CIA, who his name is Bishop, I think. And Bishop now owns his own private security firm. She gets with Bishop to help her get ready to take down this big developer who they find out has been funding terrorists. So they go to this big party that the developer is throwing together, and they get the developer's son to do an introduction. The developer's son is one of the people that kind of has a heart of gold, kind of comes across. He has a heart of gold. He has, you know, innovative and unique ways to make money while also doing the right thing. And they convince him to kind of flip on his dad, because his dad is funding terrorism and is putting hits out on community leaders. So he introduces them to his father, the developer, and Queen Latifah puts on this character of some type of African businesswoman who's trying to go into real estate in New York. And her accent was so bad. Her accent was bad. There was a point when she was using the accent that she actually sounded a little Russian. I was like, girl, no. If you work for the CIA, your accent work would be like really on top of it. So I wish she would have worked on that a little bit, especially since it was such a small part, but it just took away for me. I just did not like that. So anyway, so her accent was terrible. And then their plan started to fall apart. And I was like, what the heck is going on? From like, the developer wasn't having it. He was like, I don't know y'all, so I'm not doing business with y'all. He kicks them out. And then there were parts where things didn't come together for me. Like, they get kicked out of the party. So Queen Latifah's like, well, let's take the service stairs up to his office on the 43rd floor. They get to the top of the service stairs. They're barely out of breath. Queen Latifah has her shoes off, but they're not breathing hard. Her hair is not disheveled. I don't know, 43 flights of stairs, and y'all look almost just as good as you did when you were at the bottom of them. I don't think so. So that, wasn't believable. But they break into the office. Queen Latifah gets the information that she needs, and the guy's like, we need to go. It's time to go. She comes out, and the office is full of security and police. So security and police leave and escort them out. And the developer, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know why my TV just won't stay paused. Yeah, I don't know why my TV won't stay paused for an extended period of time. I just don't get it, Xfinity. Why can I pause the freaking TV for more than 10 minutes at a time before it just goes back to the TV? Anyways, moving on. So the plan starts to fall apart. Queen Latifah leaves out of the office, gets escorted out. Then the developer stays behind to talk with his son, and his son is like, is it true that you are funding terrorists? And is it true that you killed Malcolm? And basically and essentially, he kind of confesses. And then we see that his confession is being broadcast in freaking Times Square on a billboard. And Queen Latifah set it up so that the like secure server where he was storing all of his records of all of his bad dealings made it so that the tech guy could use a drone to read some lights on the server, and the lights on the server gave off a signal that was broadcasting all of his bad dealings to people as well. So he ended up getting caught, ended up getting taken down, and now the person who was really close to Malcolm, the community leader, is now going to kind of take his place in that role in conjunction with working with the developer's son, who is now, I'm guessing, the CEO or whatever of the development company. So things worked out. And Queen Latifah and Dante, of course, have their little meeting at the end. Officer Dante had their little meeting at the end. I like their back and forth. I like their the tension that they have going on. So yeah, I like that part about the show. Queen Latifah's daughter is involved in this as well. It talked about a little bit about civic duty. Like if you see something wrong, you see something going on, taking some personal responsibility so that it doesn't happen to other people. So I thought that was a good message. Also, I like that they are including a lot of Black stuff. When she went into Malcolm, the person who died, when she went into his apartment, it was full of books by a bunch of different, Black authors. Lots of posters of Malcolm X and a poster of Kendrick Lamar's Mad City, which actually ended up being a clue that Malcolm left behind in his suicide note. So to hear Kendrick Lamar Mad City playing on a CBS show, I mean, it just felt, really Black. And I'm into that. And that's something, actually, a criticism that I had of the movie with Denzel Washington is that they really didn't seem to explore his identity as a Black person. And whether that was on purpose or not, or whether the Equalizer was actually created to be, like maybe initially it was a white person and Denzel just got cast into that particular role. The point I'm trying to make is that I really like that this is embracing Black culture. So I'm into that too. So this was a good episode. I'll probably watch the next one and review it as well because I'm actually behind an episode. But thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you thought about the episode. I think that we should be watching this show just to show some support. Okay. There are moments where it is cheesy, but it is entertaining. And this was, I think, the first time that I watched it and was like, I like where this is going, instead of, having a more critical lens. So now that we're 4 episodes in, I'm actually liking the show, actually liking the storyline. Things are building up, and I'm interested to see what happens next. So be on the lookout for my next review of the upcoming episode, which is episode 5. And thanks for watching. Peace out, home slices.